we go.
This is Stephanie.
And this is Joseph.
And welcome back.
Yes, catching back up when...
Way long time ago.
Yeah, so I think
In October?
when we were last doing our travel summary, we were just getting to the fort before Halloween, and then that was in March when we made that podcast, and now it's September. 1st of September.
Yes.
But anyway.
No, is today September?
Yes, it's September 1st.
It's September 1st, yeah. I thought it was like the very last day of August.
No, that was yesterday.
My bad.
Okay.
I don't know what the day is. But anyways, we're kind of going back to review. We're at the fort right now.
Yeah, we arrived last time we talked. We were already back in. We had people post on social media
About us backing in?
We don't know if it's about us.
Yeah.
But we like to take things personally though. So.
Yeah, we do. Did we talk about how we had like 3 different spots reserved and they combined it all into one? Or we at least had 2 different.
Yeah, we talked about Disney. Okay. Disney worked with us and everything, so yeah.
Which it's in their best interest. They don't want because it's busy during Halloween, because we would have been changing on Halloween. So.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, but we had 3 different reservations. One was full hookup, one was premium, and then one was preferred, and they just put us in preferred for the whole time.
Yes. Which, I mean, us being in preferred that time, we really enjoyed being in preferred. It was nice.
Yeah, so we're in the 100 loop. Do you remember the number?
Like 106, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. We really like 100 loop. We like being up there.
We was like the second site on the left.
Yes, correct.
So, yeah. But yeah, we really enjoyed it. We liked that spot. It was nice. I mean, it was a playground. The big playground at Fort Wilderness was not far, so it was really easy to take the kids to the playground.
Yeah.
So
it's close to the marina, close to the restaurant, Hoop to Do.
Yeah, and pretty much we got to see horses all the time, because at night they have like a horse ride. Not a horse ride, a carriage ride. And we would, in the 100 loop is one of the loops that they would go through. They would go through other ones. It just depend on how much time, because you pay for a certain amount of time and how fast it is and how many, is how far you get. So, but yeah, in 100 loop we always saw horses, which I believe our dogs acted pretty well with the horses.
Yeah, yeah. They don't like other dogs, but I guess horses they're
horses
okay
are fine. But yeah,
we got settled. I think we talked about a little bit about backing in, and looked like we set up the projector screen. I guess
there's football.
Yeah.
There's football going on. So, I mean, and I think we had football playing when we was back at the site during Halloween. I'm not 100% sure.
I remember having the Xbox out there one time. I think it was at that site. I could be wrong.
Oh.
But it was really nice the way the site was laid out. We had kind of a backyard, little private area. It was really nice setup.
Yes, it was.
With the fort, I mean, some spots are more secluded than the others. I mean, the sites are near each other, but there's with trees and shrubs and stuff. It kind of makes it your own little private area.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel like you're cramped in there, but because we've been in some campgrounds to where you're packed in there. But this one, I mean, there's a lot of people there, but it doesn't feel like you're packed in there.
Yeah.
So, because there is space and shrubs and...
And 100 is a pretty small loop. What do you think, like 30 sites, something like that?
At the most.
Yeah,
I was going to say like 23, but yeah, maybe 30.
Yeah.
I don't know why 23 popped in my head, but it did. But it also, being in 100, we're very close to the fishing hole where Andrew likes to go fishing at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think on this trip, the boys fished quite a bit from what I remember.
And they took the kids too, because we have a few pictures of Graham with a fish and Juliet with a pretty big fish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure the fish are biting more in November than they would be in the summertime and stuff. So.
Yeah, because
you wouldn't want to be out there either. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we got all set up and got all of our stuff up. So. Yeah,
and if you've never been to Fort Wilderness during Halloween, I'd say they start decorating. I would say at least for early August. I think we had some decorations in July.
Yeah, we did.
But when we were there, but when you really get close to Halloween, I mean, pretty much every site has multiple inflatables, different decorations. They really go all out.
Yeah, and I think during all of August, people set candy out, have candy for our kids to come by and trick or treat all of October.
Yeah, it's not just one day.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was, and also the thing at Fort Woodard is because this happened. I think I'm not quite sure, but we got some skeletons. And what it was is it was before Halloween, and if you put something by the trash can or by the road, that's pretty much it's up for grabs. Well, the boys were, I guess, walking or riding around. It was in the 100.
Probably walking the dogs or something. I don't know.
And there were skeletons, I guess, up against the trash can or something. And the boys saw them, and there was someone at that campsite, and they're like, "Hey, are you going to throw these away, or can we take these?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, go ahead and take them."
Were they still at the campsite? Okay, they were packing up, leaving. Right?
Yeah. And so, the boys took them, and then they set them up at our campsite, just for decorations. And the boys had a ball with these skeletons. Like, they would do different poses with them, almost every day. So, or more than once a day. But
and I think it was like on a weekend. So even though people are geared up and going to be there for Halloween, they're still weekenders. So I think it was probably somebody just there for the weekend, probably leaving.
And I'm really not quite sure what it was, but like we left and came back, and we had a note on our camper door saying that we took the skeletons.
Now, did they go straight out and say that we took them, or?
I think it wasn't that friendly of a note. It didn't seem that way. So, but it was probably like, I think you accidentally took our skeletons that someone left for us
on purpose.
Yeah, like, or I think you mistaken. It was like, what are you even talking about? Yeah. So I mean, like the boys and they put like the number down, and so like we had the boys take them back, or we went and talked to them or something, and there was like, we asked if we could have them, and they said yeah. There's like, well, someone left them for us. I was like, okay, we'll just take them back, but she's like, no, it's no big deal. And then,
well, I don't know if they got in touch with the people that left her, but yeah, they seemed like they decided it wasn't worth it or something. I don't know. So yeah, so who knows what the backstory is on that.
I'm wondering if it's not one of those things, because people post on the Fort Woodard sites all the time to where it's like, I have this, I'm leaving, come get it if you want it, type things. And probably someone was like, oh, I'm coming right now. And then the boys got it before they did, so they might have thought like, well, that was supposed to be mine. So, yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, like I said, that happens a lot. And then also, pretty much if you put something by the end of your site, just don't do it, one thing, because people just want to donate or just get rid of stuff. So they put it either by a trash can or by the edge of the road. And if you do that, I mean, we've seen posts about bicycles going missing and different things. And like, if you put a bicycle, if your kid rides his bicycle and then parks it by the trash can, either the people that pick up the trash may pick it up, or just another guest could do that.
So it's one of those things, because like you just don't, because that's just people set stuff at the end of their site for other people to take. I mean, and a lot of times it's probably not, oh, I'm going to take that from somebody. It's like, oh, I think they're trying to give that away. Because there's been several times we drove around, it's like, are they trying to give that away, or what's going on? Because it'd be like a bag of charcoal or something.
Yeah.
But we usually don't take stuff that we see, cause just in case that, you're always afraid that you're going to take something that they're not really wanting to give away. Unless
it's obvious, like they've already packed up and left, and there's nobody in the site, and there's something on the end. But yeah, very, very rarely do we do that. But anyway, so still a few days before Halloween, we rented a cart. I think we talked about that. We both worked on getting a cart.
Yeah.
I can't remember, you got the 30th or I got the 31st. It was like, we call it all the time. But anyway, we have a cart set up when we get to Halloween. But this is a few days before. There's decorations everywhere.
Yeah,
kids are fishing. Disney has like a big giant Mickey pumpkin on the beach.
Yeah.
We have some pictures of the kids with that. But besides that, we went to the parks as well, since we just got back to the area. So.
Yeah. And I mean, we do our daily, like we run during the week and, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a normal thing.
Yeah, so I'm sure these kids were doing school, so
yeah, they were.
We'd run in the morning. I'd work. kids do their school, 7 teaches us school, and then we'll either hang out at the fort or we'll go to a theme park.
Yeah.
So.
And at night, like we would walk around. The kids would have their trick or treating bags and just collect candy that people are giving out because they're still giving out. They're giving out candy. So that's.
And yeah, that's another thing. So if you ever go to Fort Wilderness, you'll see all these posts about how much candy should you buy for trick or treaters and stuff. And some people will be like, "Oh, I buy $500 worth and I'll go through it in a night and stuff like that." But our kind of strategy was we bought some candy. But we know there's candy everywhere. So what what we would do is just the kids would collect candy. We keep what we like. The rest go back in the bowl. I mean that's pretty much. Yeah,
that's what it was.
There's no reason to spend a ton of money.
No.
Or.
And some people tell them like, oh, you didn't get enough because you spent $500, or they have so many pounds of it. And some people would be like, as much as you want to hand out, that's as much as you need.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's like. But the kids enjoy going to campsite, trick or treating all week or however long we did it for.
Yeah, we can go into another story about all the keyboard warriors telling you what you should and shouldn't do, no matter what you're doing. So, so just if you do it, get some candy, but you don't have to go. You don't have to go
crazy. No.
But yeah, so like I said, we walked around. We carved a pumpkin. We got a pumpkin. I can't remember did we get it like Aldi's or something, the pumpkin? Do you remember where we got it this year?
Possibly. I don't remember.
I remember the year before we went to that.
It was like a roadside thing. But yeah, I'm not sure. Probably Aldi's.
Yeah, we got a couple of them.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because I think they was pretty cheap. Because it seemed like the year before there wasn't many pumpkins out. And then this year there was a ton of pumpkins everywhere. So I think it was just like the season of pumpkins.
Season. Yeah.
So yeah, that, and of course that affects the price too, because I think it was pretty cheap, and that's probably why we have two.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we
must have been pretty good because some years we wait till like a couple days before Halloween, and then they're like, "Oh, all we have is this white pumpkin." It's like, all right, we got a white pumpkin.
We got a white pumpkin.
I think that was when Juliet was pretty small, and we had a white pumpkin. So.
Yeah. Because we're not very good at getting the pumpkins that carve, so.
But you don't want to carve early and be like all melted, especially in Florida. It'd be all like disintegrated.
Yeah.
But we did that, and then you said, was it 29th?
Yeah, the 29th.
Yeah.
All right, so like we went to Magic Kingdom that day, and our son, and I think he's the first one who noticed Graham. He has this thing about Adam the Woo. He likes Adam the Woo.
Adam the Woo's a YouTuber. He does all kinds of different vlogs, but he does a lot of Disney as well. So.
But yeah, and at one point he said that he's gonna have a beard like Adam the Woo, like that's and I said something like I posted something because he was like wanting some information from fans and stuff, and I was like, well, my son wants a beard like you. Like we watch you, we enjoy watching you.
Oh, you did that post?
Yeah. And we just so happened, like, a couple of weeks later, we was riding Big Thunder, and then Graham's like, there's Adam the Woo, and he was across from us.
Yeah, so we're in the stalls waiting to get on, and Adam was on the other side talking to cast members, and we were waiting our turn to get on, and then we got on, and that was actually the car that Adam got on as well. So he likes the back row, so I think he's waiting for the back row. So we hopped on, and then we saw that he was on the same train.
And when we got off, it was all walking off together, and I was like, Graham, do you want to say something to him? And he was just like, no, I don't want to. No, yeah. Like he wanted to get away from him as quickly as possible.
That's most of our kids. I mean,
yeah.
He's a pretty big YouTuber, so he's starstruck. But Graham's not going to talk to anybody. So
no, he's not.
But yeah, that was pretty fun to do that.
Because we've never actually seen him. He always leaves when we go into town. Yeah. And then we actually see him in a park. So that's fun. That's always fun.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the 29th, and then on October 30th, me and you. It was a weekday. We went and did our run, and then I got a early boarding group for Tron, so we ran to. Well, I guess we did our full run because we were at the marina, right?
Yeah. So I
guess we did our full run, and then we went to Settlement, and then hopped the boat to Magic Kingdom
to go ride Tron.
Yeah. So we had one of the first boarding groups. We went and rode Tron. Even though we had a lot going on that day, we had when you were getting the golf cart that day, the parade for the golf carts was that day, and I'm sure. And then another thing is they had, we think it was the Blue Angels. I'm pretty sure it was the Blue Angels. It could have been, what's the other one?
Thunderbirds. Is it the Thunderbirds?
Maybe it was the Thunderbirds. There's Jets. Like then they would do what they would do. I think it was the Thunderbirds really. They would do these passes through Magic Kingdom and Epcot. I think was the other one, and they would like fly over the castle, and then us being at the fort, we could see them like flying around in formation.
Yeah. And so you could get there. And then they circled like twice. So like, and it was pretty. It was interesting. So we got to see that from the beach. I mean, there were several people there waiting to see it. Of course, we saw the Blue Angels years ago at our house, but I mean, it's always fun. Not at our house, but they was just in Maryville.
Yeah, because Juliet was a baby. The Blue Angels did come to town 2022 when we were out west.
So we missed them.
So our people that was renting the house got to have a good view of it, but we didn't get to see it that time.
Yeah, because then we probably would have actually been able to...
From our yard, yeah.
Yeah, see it from like our pool, so...
Yeah, because we live close to the airport and we see planes flying, taking off, and that's where they were, I think that's where they're staging or setting up. I'm sure that's probably where they took off from. But yeah, that was the 30th, so we went to Trine, and then saw the planes, jets.
The jets, yeah. They might have been the Blue Angels. I'm not 100% sure.
Boys went fishing. They had a lot of luck. They were catching pretty good sized bass.
Yeah, they were.
So, and then they always have the parade.
Golf cart parade.
Golf cart parade the day before Halloween. And
the golf carts, they decorate them, and some of them are really good. Like,
yeah.
They have there's one with the stretching room in Haunted Mansion, if you know what that is.
If you know, you know.
If you know, then you know.
And then besides that, after when night falls, they have a beach party.
And we didn't go last year, and we wasn't really planning on going this year. We went and trick or treated. We had the kids dress up in their outfits, sort of, just a costume. Not Julia didn't dress up in the costume she was going to wear on Halloween. She dressed up in another one, I think. And Graham is his whole costume. He had no idea what he wanted to be, so it was just kind of thrown together.
Do we actually?
He didn't want to wear one.
Do we have him a costume? I know what he ended up being. But...
He wanted to be the dragon again, what he was last year. And then, but he ended up being, he didn't want to wear clothes, so that's normal him. But we went trick-or-treating the night before Halloween in the cabins because we knew that we wouldn't have time to visit it on Halloween because it's just so, there's just so much. So we did the cabins and then went back and then decided to go to the little party that they had on the beach, the Halloween bash.
Yeah, so they have a DJ, they have games. One game they did was you wrap your one of your family members in toilet paper.
Yes.
And see who makes the best mummy.
Yes.
So we wrapped up Juliet. We didn't win.
No. There was also a contest or a dancing contest with your family or whatever.
Yeah.
And we was in that, but we didn't win that either.
By we, you mean you and Henry?
Me and Henry.
Yeah.
Were the kids in there?
I think Juliet was with you.
Yeah.
I think Graham and me and Andrew stayed back. We spectated.
And then, but the funny thing is later on, because we was the first ones to actually go and and we had to pick a number and they picked a random song and you had to dance to the song. But then later, Henry was watching and was like, I could have done the worm. I was like, yes, you could have done anything you wanted to because I guess they know how to do the worm.
Well, I kind of remember watching you dance and trying to do what you was doing.
Oh, so
he was just going these random motions, and so it wasn't any choreography going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we did that evening, and then that's kind of winded down the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
We had a golf cart, so we were riding around looking. I'm sure we trick or treated, things like that. So had a good day, and then trying to get the next day would be Halloween. So that's another full day
of Halloween night. Actually, there's not much going on at the fort. I guess they have like the pet parade maybe, and
I thought that was the 29th.
Okay, so pretty much a lot of the actual fort sponsored activities is the day before.
Yeah, because they just have
like
Halloween is just trick or treating,
and that starts at like 5 or 6 or something, and it's only like for 2 hours. Like it doesn't last long.
Didn't we go somewhere too early? And they're like, "Oh, it's not ready yet."
Yes, like we was like 15 minutes before the official time, and there was a lot of people giving out candy, and then someone's like, "Well, if you like, it's too early. You're not on time. You know, it's like we're not handing out candy because it doesn't start." And I'm like, 15 minutes? Like, come on.
But everybody had a site with candy, so we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so Juliet was Rapunzel. Graham was a surfer guy.
Yes.
Without a shirt, just swim trunks.
Yeah, swim trunks. We did have a towel so he could put it on, but he didn't care about the towel. He was happy with just wearing swim trunks with no shirt.
Henry was the plague doctor.
And then Andrew was.
He didn't participate.
Well,
he participated. He just had a mask though.
Well, no, he was paparazzi, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
He would go up to like people dressed up as like princesses and stuff and take their pictures and like want to take kids' pictures like because like they're stars or something.
I have one picture of him wearing the mask with the X's, but I
think he did that when they was handing candy out.
Okay.
So they try to scare kids that was handing candy out.
Not really scare them.
No, but like they thought there was animatronics.
Yeah, and the boys, I mean, especially Andrew, he knows, he can gauge an audience, so he's not gonna like scare a little kid. So he can probably tell if it's like older, he'll probably be they'll do a little bit more and stuff. So
and like remember last year there was like we loved it. There was a part of the trick or treating area that was like a scare zone.
Yeah, they didn't do that this year.
They got told to tone it down. Yeah. And then there was a post talking about people behind their keyboard was like, I thought that dressing up and scaring people was like against the rules. Because it's like last year my kids were scared to death and I'm like, really? Like it's Halloween. Like there's people with, their animatronics and stuff that is a lot scarier than people.
So they had the people did the Haunted Mansion, the different stages of Haunted Mansion. They were there.
Yes.
But we lost Blockbuster.
Yep.
They weren't there. Stranger Things, the one they did. They had the.
That was really good.
Yeah. They had was it Eddie? Is his name?
Yeah, Eddie. I think it's Eddie.
Yeah, and Steve. No, what's the other kid? But they were on top of was it a van?
A camper.
A camper.
No. It was like a wooden cutout of a camper. It was just like they was just up on a stage.
But they were playing like
actual guitar.
The electric guitar.
Like electric guitar. Yeah. Like they was actually playing the songs and stuff, which that was really cool.
So they didn't have that, and they didn't have the scare zone.
No.
With the clowns popping out.
Which that was fun. But if it was kids, they wouldn't pop out and scare you. They would just,
we were fine.
Yeah.
Like we thought it was hilarious the year before.
Yeah, we thought it was
fun. So I don't know if Disney had more rules about it, but it was definitely more toned down than the year before. And I mean, I don't know any rhyme or reason. I know that this Halloween we're not going to have Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, they said that was finished, which it's a whole huge thing. They hire makeup artists. Mm-hmm. It was a big deal.
Mariachi band was still there, right?
Yeah, the mariachi band was still there. There was a huge pumpkin. That was where the Eddie was. A huge blow up pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
But they couldn't keep it blown up all the time because it was huge.
I wonder if it was the same people.
Yeah, it might have been
because it just seemed like it would. Just seeing them.
And you see a lot to where people who's done this for years and years, they always get the same spots.
How does that happen?
I don't know how they do it because Stormtroopers is always in the same spot.
They're still there.
Yeah, there's the Stormtroopers. They have like a whole bunch of Stormtroopers, little miniature Stormtroopers, big Stormtroopers, and they dress them up. And during the fall, when you see them, they have like the football teams. So I have some pictures of like some of them with Tennessee jerseys on.
Yeah, some sites that we saw, there was a Jurassic Park one that had like the
Jeep
dinosaur with the that spits the venom sticking out of the Jeep. They have Aliens one. I mean, there's still a lot of good sites, but yeah, we lost a few.
Yeah,
really
and you'll always see like the headless horseman, like people with like the headless horseman statue and stuff like that. And there's last year there was a guy walking around looked exactly like Jack Sparrow, like his makeup and everything looked exactly like Jack Sparrow. And this year he looked exactly like the Mad Hatter. So I think like every year he like goes all in on his costume.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was and I guess people know him around there, so I guess he's a yearly one too.
Right before I mean, that's pretty much Halloween, the description of it. Before we go any further, is there any like tips or tricks that you think of, like anybody else that was going to go there? Yeah, for Halloween. First, I can go first. If you can get a golf cart, get a golf cart, and you're going to be told months in advance. There's no golf carts; they're all reserved. If you call every day, somebody's going to cancel, and we've lucked out 2 years in a row booking really late. But having a golf cart as big as Fort Wilderness is, you'll be able to see everything, keep your kids together. You don't have to worry about them getting ran over by another golf cart.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty crazy out there. So having everybody together with a golf cart, most of the time I'd say at Fort Wilderness, golf cart's not necessary. But I say for trick-or-treating and Halloween, it'd be ideal. But do you have any tips about it?
I mean, I don't know. Not really. I mean, just it's going to be as fun as you want it to make it. Like if Halloween's not your thing or people's not your thing, this is
Well, if people's not your thing, you should go to Disney World.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just don't expect to be perfect.
No.
Either the weather's not gonna be perfect, or you're gonna run into an obnoxious guest, or something's gonna happen. But we've done it 2 years. I'd say I enjoyed it more the first year in 2022, but I enjoyed last year too. So
yeah, and also like with the costumes, it's gonna be hot. You're gonna be sweaty.
Yeah. It's
not like October. Well, I was gonna say here, but sometimes it's hot and sweaty here. Sometimes it's freezing cold here during Halloween. Yeah. You never know, but there it's gonna be warm. Yeah. So, and that's one reason why Graham got to just wear his swim trunks and that's it, because it was warm.
So, yeah.
So
I don't remember being like overbearing warm, but it was typical for that time of year. So
I mean, even when the sun went down, it was warm.
Yeah.
But we got a bunch of candy.
Yeah. So yeah, usually the tradition is that night we'll throw all our candy out, show our big pile, our stash that we got, but we did it the next morning.
Yeah. Because it's just so late and dark and.
Yeah, everybody's tired. Go to bed. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have a picture of all the candy that we got from Halloween. And
we will set when we go trick or treating. We have a bowl. We set some candy in it, and when we come back, it's gone. And every now and then I think Andrew would go back and refill it or whatever because he wasn't with us the whole time. I think he enjoys giving out candy. He's getting to that point. But we left candy out like afterwards too. And that's the thing with like being at Fort Wilderness, the squirrels. Like, you gotta really pay attention to what you leave out because those squirrels love candy.
Squirrels get fat that time of year.
They are really fat.
Yeah, they'll eat that candy.
And they're not afraid of people. Like there's been times that like when we're running, I've been afraid that they was gonna jump on me because they're like running along with you.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they won't attack you, but they won't run off. If you try to scare them away, and they'll just hang around you waiting for you to drop food or something, or leave food, or you just show up in your tent camping spot with all your bags of groceries, and then they'll just go and get into your bags of groceries.
We get and I don't think it was during Halloween. No, I think it was another time, but like we was walking by a campsite, and they were trying to figure out how to put up their tent, and they had their groceries just out.
Yeah.
And the squirrels was just going through there, like getting food out of it. And it was like, hey, there's squirrels in your groceries.
Yeah. So, yeah, you have to watch out for that. But, yeah, I say second time through Halloween at Fort was a success. And
I think so,
everybody had fun.
And we know
we've set this precedent, so Graham's expecting to do it this year.
The older ones are too.
told them not likely, but we'll see where we are in October. So
yeah, but definitely for sure, don't sleep on the beach bash. Beach bash.
Yeah, because we didn't do it. You said we did it all that first year.
No, we didn't.
We didn't get up there,
No.
and then we did a little bit this time.
But yeah, it's like and like they had a lot. They had like costume contests before we got there. People had got into that, and so
we were about halfway done.
Yeah,
when we got
yeah,
there. Yeah.
And it's like, hey, it was fun. Like you know.
Yeah, but again, it's something else. It's fun as you make it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well we'll stop here. That was our Halloween for 2023.
All right. So thank you for listening to 4 Kids, 2 Dogs, and 1 RV.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.